Playing Call of Duty as much as I do, and as semi-competitively as I do, I need a controller that offers more features than just a base controller, and is something I can customize to my liking. And that's where Beaver comes in to save my day. Now, if you don't know about controllers like these, essentially they're normal controllers, but they have either paddles or buttons on the back of them where your fingers rest so you can press them and have an action be done without moving your thumb off the joystick. For example, my controller has a jump and my punch button on the back, which allows me to jump shot much easier, slide cancel much easier, and shoot punch much easier. On paper, it doesn't seem like much, but once you realize how often you lose gunfights because you have to take your thumb off the controller, you'll learn how useful these controllers can be. And in this new world of CoD, where anyone good at the game is considered a cheater and accusations are thrown around like a football, many people see controllers like these and think they are a form of cheating and as something that makes you better. While it will make you better, it's not cheating by any means. I've seen a lot of people think these controllers are Cronus Zen packs, but they aren't. The difference is that a Cronus Zen is purposely exploiting and modding your gaming equipment to give you a clear advantage over your opponent, whereas a Beaver just gives you the upper hand and being able to react faster. If you were to put the two back to back, a Cronus literally is cheating because it gives you better aim assist, rapid fire, and literally zero recoil, where a Beaver on the other hand, you still have to be good at the game. You just get an upper hand in how you approach certain situations. And you might think that no one uses these controllers because you have personally never heard of them, but a little unknown fact is that like 90% of pro players in the CDO uses a Beaver, and thousands of Warzone streamers use a Scuf or Beaver alike, and a lot of them are even sponsored by them as well. I'll leave a link to the list of pro players and their preferred controllers if you're interested, and you'll find out that the Beaver is much more popular than a Scuf and is used quite a lot more than other controllers you might have heard of. And speaking of a Scuf, you might just think that this is just a rip-off Scuf, but it's really not. The thing about Scuf, which, yes, before you assume, I did use a Scuf since 2015 until I got my Beaver, but the thing is that Scufs are much more expensive and honestly offer fewer features. The newer Scufs really don't allow much besides a little amount of customization and changing the joysticks out pretty easily. They also changed their paddle design from a straight up paddle to a rocker style now, which, while I haven't tried it, I just personally think it's something I wouldn't enjoy much, which has kept me away from purchasing another Scuf. And all of this for around $300 some. While this might seem fine for people, I personally don't find it fine because back in the day, you could customize the entire controller on a Scuf and get it decked out for less than the price you have to pay now. For example, when I first got my Scuf back in like 2015, you had like somewhere around 100 plus colors and designs to choose from, and you can also change the small things like the LED in your controller, and the paddle type, the joystick, and so on. And while it's practically the same now, if you look, the difference is that there are just fewer options to choose from, which I just don't like. But moving back to Beaver though, this controller is about half the price of a Scuf and can even be less than $100 if you choose a basic pre-build, so you already are at an advantage when it comes financially. Then on top of that, you have much more customization options compared to Scufs. You can change the button type on the back, the material used for that button, the sound of that button, the color of that button, and where it's placed. And that's only just for the back buttons that you will never see. The customization is honestly overwhelming at times, but that's fine because I love seeing a variety of options, whereas Scuf really doesn't have that anymore. But one thing though is that none of this matters if the build quality sucks, which is something that leads us to a more sketchy side of this video. And before I go on, let me say, I love this controller that I'm using of my Beaver and have never liked a controller like this before. But the build quality was annoying to me. I'm not sure if I just got a dud controller or if it's me. Personally, I think it's me since when I first got the controller, it was fine and worked perfectly, but the problem is that I play Call of Duty, and a lot at that. And what I mean by that is that I am constantly slide canceling and tax printing, which means I am literally beating up my controller, and honestly, I think that was my problem. After smashing these buttons for so long, my jump button on the back of the controller started to give out and would work every other press or so, and the right joystick got some pretty sick stick drift on it. I honestly would have been able to get over this though, since my older controller, my Scuf, that I used for a while had the most stick drift you could possibly get out of a controller, but it was really the back button that set me off. Losing gunfights and screwing up jumps because of the back button not working all the time is something that's much more annoying once you get hands-on experience with it. And after just 7 months with my Beaver, I had to send it in to get it fixed, which cost me around $80 overall. Granted, I did upgrade it, so it was more like just $30 for just fixing it, but This though was something I was honestly kind of disappointed in because I was coming off a controller of 7 years and this controller barely lasted half a year before it needed to be fixed. And again, I think it is mainly because I played CoD, since when I played Cold War with my Scuf, that controller easily got way more beat up in that 1 year than the previous 6 years I used it. And that's Cold War. It requires much less of a beating on controllers than Vanguard. And I didn't even play Modern Warfare, so my controller got spared from that game, so I honestly just do think that the slide canceling meta and CoD in general is the reason my Battle Beaver gave out so soon. And it's the reason that pro players have to get new controllers every other month. In my slide canceling video, I go a little bit more in depth on this, so you can check that video out, but for right now though, I just wish the quality of the controller lasted just a little bit longer before giving out. Overall though, I do think that a Battle Beaver is the best bang for your buck when it comes to getting a modded controller, you could say, since it is so well known in the underground scene and is used by a lot of people. And a lot of friends of mine that also use the Battle Beaver have said nothing but positive things about the company. I know there are other companies out there like Cinch Gaming, but they're also much less known and honestly not as trusted compared to Battle Beaver. So if you're looking to get an advantage and get better at games like CoD without literally cheating and without breaking the bank, I think a Battle Beaver is absolutely the move. Just be a little aware of the build quality because it feels like the price you're paying for it. And while it might hold up in the long run, know that if you do play games like CoD and you play semi-competitively and a lot and you abuse it, it's not going to last forever. And I also think that if you just take care of the controller and don't abuse it like that, your Battle Beaver will last you for years. Let me know though what you think of controllers like these and if you have a Battle Beaver or not, and especially if you have a Battle Beaver, let me know your experience about it because I'm interested in other people's experiences with the Battle Beaver. And Battle Beaver, if you're ever wanting to sponsor me, I'm all here for it. I love your product, just that build quality is what got me. Know that it was kind of my fault. Other than that though, if you did enjoy the video, make sure not to leave without leaving a like and subscribing for more. But until next time, see ya.